You know, I thought it would be fun today to actually take you into one of my sales offices because these are studs that are all here to make serious six-figure incomes. Hey, how you guys doing today? You doing well? Who's making some money? Guys, they're here. If you want to learn how to make six figures in sales, guess what? Today's video is about ringing the bell.
One shot, now the future is yours. Go! I'm turning dreams into reality. Yeah, it's one shot, now the future is yours. Go!
Do you know what sound money makes? Sounds a little bit like that. You know, a lot of people are like, man, I got to roll the dice if I want to get anywhere financially in life. But today, I actually want to talk about how you make piles of predictable money. There is a career that isn't super popular. Like, not a lot of people like to think about it. They don't like to talk about it. But the truth is, so much of the success that I've had in real estate, in business, came down to one core skill that I learned when I was in college. You know what it was? Sales. Everybody says, get good grades, go to college, be smart, work for somebody else, make them piles of money. And what do you get in exchange? You get a salary, and it sure feels good because you've got bills to pay. But did you know that according to Parkinson's law, most people will spend plus or minus 10% of what they make? In other words, the amount of money that you get from your job is what you design your lifestyle on. And that's bad news for most people because if you're a subscriber on this channel, it's because financially you want to get ahead. And that's hard if you're living relatively check to check. Out the gate, I might say something here you don't like. Because as I talk about making six figures with the sales job or maybe multiple six figures, it's because of this. You need to be making at least $50,000 more than whatever your expenses are. And if you're in sales, you should be making $100,000 more each year than whatever your expenses are. Why? Because people that get ahead, people that learn how to invest, people that own business, people with multiple streams of income, people that become millionaires, guess what they do? They learn how to make way more money than their budget demands so that they can invest, they can grow, and they can get ahead. Kris, are you really making a YouTube video arguing the merits of a sales job? I mean, people don't even like salespeople.
How do you do, Mr. or Mrs. Fill-in name of couple?
Let's be honest, right? We're being truthful here. People don't like salespeople. They don't like being sold. And what is it? We think that they're greedy. They got commission breath. And you know what? People in general really just don't like that. We're talking about sales, however, for a very different reason. It's the conversation of risk and reward. It is generally true that the greater the risk a person takes, the greater the reward he or she will receive if the investment makes money. On the other hand, if an investor only takes a small risk, he or she will likely only earn a small reward. This principle is called risk-reward trade-off. And you know what? Society has it completely bass-backwards. What I mean by that is we think that things that are super risky are bad and things that are really low risk are actually good. Dude, they've got it backwards. Investors, successful people, we're counter-cyclical. We think backwards. We think difference. If it has low risk, I have no interest because low risk isn't going to get me necessarily anywhere. Likewise, if it has really high risk, that actually looks super intriguing to me because that means that the reward might also be super high. What if, however, you could have your cake and eat it too? What if there was a way to actually get low risk, but a super high reward? Check this one out. You see, this is the matrix where we're going to evaluate risk up here and reward along the bottom. And like, think about this. High risk, little reward, that is no bueno, like not a good idea. What about low risk but low reward? Dude, that's like 401ks, IRAs, the stock market. There's no compounding effect on that. You're guaranteed to get nowhere. Think about over here. High risk, high reward. Now you're going to capture my attention. Some of my money is going to be invested in this sector. But you want to know my favorite? It's right over here. Low risk, high reward. And that is actually why we're talking about sales today. Let's take the risk reward matrix and make it a lot more tangible. We still got risk climbing up on this side. We've got reward moving across the bottom. And in this low quadrant of low risk, low reward, you find first and foremost a salary. Feels real comfortable. Every 2 weeks I'm getting a paycheck. I can use that to dependably pay my bills. And there's a time and place in life where that might be really important to you. But if you get stuck in that space for 40 years, you might find yourself, according to Parkinson's law, not stashing enough cash to invest and grow with. So there's very little to risk, but there's also very little to gain. Similarly, 401ks, stock markets, you realize that by the time you're in your 60 years, after 40 years of contribution, that the average retirement has $172,000. Like, how's anyone supposed to retire on that? You can claim, yeah, but Kris, risk was real low. And I'm like, yeah, now you're financially screwed. But on the other hand, people get desperate and they may say, you know what? I'm gonna get in the game of gambling, right? Like, let's go to Vegas. Let's see if we can kind of find the fast, easy road to making some serious money. The risk is through the roof. There is some reward, but there's massive downside. And so most people don't actually make their living that way. If we move into this quadrant, I get really excited when I think of win the lottery. I don't actually play the lottery, but what I mean by that is starting a business, buying business, selling business. If you're not smart, if you don't have a mentor, if you don't know what you're doing, dude, you can get screwed up and down through Sunday. However, you can get good at the game and you can bring that risk down and you can make a lot of money with that. But then here we go. See, this is my favorite sector. Where is my risk the lowest? Where is my reward the greatest? You see, I've got the game of real estate here. I love it. I earn my 25% really high annual ROIs. 5 years later, it's 50%. 20 years later, it's 400% of my money. Imagine making 400% year over year over year on your real estate. That's why it creates a lot of millionaires. But I also got to add a different type of career that also falls in this sector. It's a sales job. Sales job actually has very low risk because if it doesn't happen, you're gonna find out soon. If it doesn't pan out, what have you lost? Maybe a little bit of time. It's not like you had to invest gobs of money to figure it out. But on the other hand, if it works out and you start earning $100,000 a year, $200,000 a year, $300,000 a year, or a whole lot more, guess what? Now you have the ability to make so much money, not spend it all, actually set it aside. And you know what you can do with that? You can invest it. So why are we even talking about sales? We're not talking about used car salesmen.
Look at the size of that trunk. You could put 3 bodies in there.
Sales is like literally to be found everywhere in the world. Nothing gets done without something being sold, which is why they tend to be the highest paying jobs. Check it out. You're almost certain to make more money in sales than a technical or administrative job. Companies need to make sales to survive and usually reward successful salespeople highly to ensure that they will stay in the job. And it's fair. The better the salesperson, the more he or she will earn. For many, this is often the main reason why a sales career is chosen initially. And I got to tell you, this is actually why I chose sales as my first job. I was scared of it and I hated it honestly at first. But the more I learned about it and the better I got, the more money I actually made. Now, my first year as a full-time working adult, I made less than $20,000 a year, but I doubled my income the very next year. How did I do that? Because I was at a 100% commission job. I literally had to figure it out or I wasn't going to make money. And even though that brought a lot of stress in my life, I hacked it. I obsessed over it. I focused on it. I learned to get good at it. The next year, I made over $100,000. Some of that now was because of my real estate investing, because guess what I had? I had money to invest. I had that because I was good at my sales job. And then I turned around and put it in real estate, and then I'd make more money in real estate, and I'd buy more real estate. After 4 years, I was making over $130,000 a year at my sales job. I was making even more at the game of real estate. And it meant that I was growing my assets so aggressively that eventually I could kiss that job goodbye. I literally walked in my boss's office. I said, thank you for the job. This has grown me. It's helped me invest. This has been wonderful. Thank you so much. We left on really good terms. And guess what I became? A full-time real estate investor. Ultimately, what I learned is that money, my friend, is a game. And some people are good at it because they've learned the game and the rules. And some people suck at it because they never bothered to learn, or they're too busy trying to create such a low-risk life because it creates a lot of comfort today, but down the road, they are going to regret it. I decided that the best time to learn the game of money when I was young. And I developed a disdain for one word and a love for the other. Check it out. Salary. This is like liquid gold to someone that just finished getting their education and says, I've reached adulthood, I have safety, I have security. Whether I work 30 hours or 60 hours, they're gonna give me this money no matter what. And when I look at that word, do you know what I see? Financial death, pain.
I'm ruined. I have nothing left.
Sounds a little dramatic? This is the death of growth. Why would I want to freaking outperform my employees? Why would I want to grow myself? Why would I want to do more? Why would I want to be a high achiever? They're going to pay me the same amount of money no matter what. And you know what? Did you know that most employees are paying you literally a fourth of what they're earning off of your salary. This is a word that I was terrified of, commission. And you know what? I decided that I needed to fall in love with this word. I needed to embrace this word. And if you look at me today, sure, am I buying hundreds of homes this year? No money, no credit? 100% yeah. Am I building and growing businesses? Yes. Am I building businesses to sell for really big, powerful financial exits? Of course. All of that is called commission. I don't have a single salary on the planet. I literally am going to eat what I kill. And you know what? If you get good at the game of sales, one company might pay you $50,000 a year, but another one will pay you $100,000, and another one will pay you $250,000. And maybe you're up for selling Lear jets when you become an expert, and you make tens of millions of dollars over a lifetime selling really, really large commodities. Have I sold you yet? Have I sold you on like the idea of becoming a salesperson? No? Let me give you 5 compelling reasons why. Reason number 1, better pay. Literally, check out this study. Salespeople consistently earn well above the average for their age group and education level. Think about it. If you want to make $1 million, what's going to get you there faster? 35 grand a year, salary only position, or a performance-based career where you have the opportunity to earn $100,000 a year or more? You know, if you work at a job long enough, you're eventually going to make $1 million. But how much salary do you need to have to actually make $1 million? Well, let's just say that you're making $25,000 a year. It's going to take you 40 years. If you're making $50,000 a year, it'll take you half of that, 20 years. But if you're making $100,000 a year, it's going to take you about 10 years. Listen carefully to me. You are programmed right now. Your financial barometer in your head says, I only need to make enough money to pay all my bills, maybe a little bit more. Break that right now. I want you to set a brand new goal. I have to make $50,000 more than my bills that I can set aside and invest or financially grow myself with so that I can actually get in the game of money. And if you're at a sales job, you need to double that number. There should be at least $100,000 left over after paying all your bills, because guess what? $100,000 every year I can buy properties, I can buy businesses. You can grow yourself very impressively and become financially free in your 20s like I did. And reason number 2, sales jobs are always in high demand. Doesn't matter whether the economy is doing really well or really bad. Frankly, the worse the economy, the better sales jobs are actually available because everyone's desperate for stuff to be sold and they're taking care of you. Think about it. According to CSO Insights, only 16% of sales leaders were confident that they have the talent that they need to succeed in the future. That means if you get a sales job, there's an 84% chance you're working for a company that is thinking, man, I wish we had better people. Man, I wish we could pay more money to the right person. They're looking for you if you're willing to learn the skills. You know, there is a third reason why you should consider a career in sales, which is it gives you options. You have a preconceived notion perhaps of what sales looks like, but the reality is there's so much diversity in the entire field. You've got B2B, which means selling from one business to another business. Those tend to be really high paying commissions. You also have B2C, which means business to consumer, which means you could actually represent my brand, all the thousands of people. I get millions of views every single day, and people are constantly emailing and clicking links and saying, Kris, can I work with you? Can I mentor with you? And you might enjoy actually representing an influencer with raving fans that actually are ready to increase their financial lifestyle. Reality is there's just a lot of different options out there. It's not all D to D, which means door to door. It's like, oh man, I hope I don't get hit up for selling pest control, selling, solar door to door, because I don't think I'd like that very much. Reality is there's a lot of really awesome sales jobs that you could actually love. Now this benefit rocks. It's the fourth one. It's called flexibility. Think about this for a moment. There's a lot of jobs where people carry extraordinary amounts of stress. And that's because they have a long list of everything that they need to get done. In sales, this is a results-oriented position. It means that if you get the result early, you get a lot more flexibility. It's not just about more money. It's also about more time. And if you'd like to have more flexibility and more time freedom, simple. Go freaking kill it at a sales job. Even if it takes you 3 or 6 months to learn how to do it really, really well, if you're hungry, if you're obsessed with figuring it out, if you put that hyper-focused game on and you learn how to do it well, there's another benefit that you get besides a whole pile of money. You actually pick up a huge time benefit. And you know what? When I figured out the sales game, it meant that I could take that winnings that I was getting and I could go move it in the game of real estate. I actually had time to work a full-time job where, frankly, I was usually working a lot fewer hours. I was out there investing. I was then building businesses. And I got to the point where I was making so much money that I didn't need that sales job anymore. But the truth is, those sales skills have continued to aid me in my real estate game, building my empire, blocking out my businesses, and can do the same for you. And the fifth, and perhaps most important reason why you should consider a sales job, especially if you're a subscriber on my channel, is because I'm hiring. Like right now, I am in crazy expansion mode. Right now, I'm getting so many views on my channel. I'm building out portfolios with my partners. I'm helping people start businesses. One thing rings true. I got a lot of raving fans that want to connect with me. They want to do business with me. And I'm always headhunting for that next person that wants to become a superstar. And you know what? You might have experience in sales. You might not. But you might have something else. You might have insatiable hunger and drive and a will to figure it out. That's what I had, and that's what made me successful in life. And if you're feeling some of that yourself, you should definitely click the link below and submit your resume. Literally connect with me and my team, because you know what? There's 4 really cool benefits that you get if you join my team. Benny number 1, multiple 6-figure opportunity. If you want to make less than $100,000 a year, you should definitely not apply for the job. You're just not hungry enough. I'm not interested in that. For me, a successful salesperson joins my team, which we call Team Transformation. And it's because you're out there to change lives. And I want it to change your life too. I want you to make enough money that you're out there investing and growing your business and taking the advice. Benefit number 2, we value people that work smart instead of hard. Me, I don't care about the hours you put in. I care about your results. And you know what? There's a lot of people that are afraid of that. But if it gets you excited like it gets me excited and you are a results-oriented person, you might want to click that link. Number 3, the leads are amazing. As in, I have the coolest tribe of people all over the world that will get themselves to a point where they've watched maybe dozens or hundreds of my videos and they say, you know what, Kris is my mentor. I want to learn from him. And I'm serious about having my life financially changed. When you learn more about our products and what we do here, we change people's lives. And not a small number, it's a significant number. And number 4, the employee benefits are incredible. I'm not talking just about making a lot of money. I'm talking about giving you proximity to me, actually learning from me, mentoring with me, growing with me. I have people that literally move all across the country to little old Provo, Utah to work in one of my offices because they know how often I'm going to show up. I'm going to train them. They can make great money. They're going to learn how to invest in real estate. They're going to learn about business. And for the right person, that is a sick job. You know, I've got people on my team that are making ludicrous amounts of money. And for my accounting team, those are some of the happiest checks that I cut every single week. And the reason why is because I really value results-oriented people that are hungry, insatiable, that want to learn, want to grow, are into personal development. And you might be watching this video and thinking, man, Kris, that could be me. And we're certainly hiring for my local office in Provo, Utah. We have a couple of positions for super talented people that want to work remote from home. But if you're seriously looking for a great opportunity and you've been watching me for a while and you think it could be with me, if you want to get proximity and mentorship and a great opportunity, click that link below and submit a resume. Like, let us know who you are, go through the hiring process. We got really high standards. We only hire the best. And if you feel like you're at a point in your life where you're willing to consistently give the best, to master the game and make tons of money and then have lots of freedom and invest, this might be the path for you. Click the link below. Hey, thanks for watching today's video. I hope it gave you some useful information about this whole game of why is it that salespeople can make so much money. Ironically, there's a huge correlation between people that do really well in sales and people that make really fantastic entrepreneurs. In fact, I came out with this little test that if you could answer these 10 questions the right way, you're guaranteed to be successful entrepreneurship and inversely sales. So click this link, watch this video, and check out what I think are the top 10 characteristics of a successful business person and salesperson. How's that song go? Da-na-na-na-na-na, the sound of me silence.
Yeah, Hello Darkness, my